Hello, everybody, and welcome back to episode 6 of the Clinton Victory Series, Bumpy Road to the 2020 election. It's a brand new year, starting off the new decade. Hillary Clinton has a 47% approval rating across the country, -4 nationwide. She's doing very well for herself as president. Christine Whitman has withdrawn from the 2020 primary field, citing lack of funds and lack of viability. Donald Trump has taken over past the majority, over 50% of the polling support in the national average. President Clinton has been impeached by the House of Representatives for 3 counts, actually. For her abuse of power, which 278 members of Congress voted for that. Destroying government information and property, 285 members of Congress voted for that. As well as count 3, perjury, 281 to 156. Those bottom two involving the Clinton email scandal. The first one, we here aren't too sure about that. It's kind of weird. It seems like every president is given the abuse of power one, so but at most 285 members of Congress, and I'm pretty sure only 278 members of the House are Republican, so if I'm not mistaken. Liz Cheney has suspended her 2020 presidential campaign and will seek another term to the office. However, she does have a primary challenger issued by Donald Trump, so we're just kind of see where this leads. Bob Corker has ended his short-lived White House run. Again, same thing with Christine Whitman. He has no viability, and probably will go back to retirement after this. Health officials are starting to warn of a new pandemic possibility of a new virus known as the coronavirus, or COVID-19, that is starting to spread. It's already hit New York City, it's starting to hit New York, and it could start spreading, so people are warning that we should wear masks and social distance and such. Carly Fiorina has withdrawn from the presidential race. She has she actually has plenty of money, of course, but she doesn't have any sort of viability, is what I'm trying to say. Here's President Clinton's approval ratings at the beginning of February. Her approval rating has taken a huge dip due to the coronavirus, as states are starting to lock down. New York, Washington, California, big money makers when it comes to the economy. And, due to this, the economy is starting to become very poor, and Clinton's approval rating did drop down to about negative 13% disapproval across the country. However, her approval went from 47 to 42 in a span of a month. This is bad news for Hillary, as she needs a lot more than what she's at now in order to win re-election come November. President Clinton has been narrowly acquitted by the Senate on all 3 counts. If you remember, the Republicans have 60 seats, if I'm not mistaken, in the Senate right now. So here you go. As you can see here, party line on the bottom 2 counts, 60 to 40. Bottom line, like it was party line through and through. And when it comes to abuse of power, 5 Republicans said, "Hey, we're not doing this," and those were Lisa Murkowski, Martha McSally, or not Martha McSally, but Lisa Murkowski, Susan Collins. John Kasich was another one, and of course 2 other senators as well. But those 5 voted with the Democrats in, saying, hey, she didn't abuse the power. But those bottom 2, of course, 60 to 40, have a Republicans were just 7 votes off of being able to get Hillary out of the White House and replace her with Tim Kaine. But 7 votes short is 7 votes short. Here's President Clinton's approval rating. It's dropped yet again to 16% disapproval nationwide, going from 42% approved to 41% approved. Her biggest voting bloc being, of course, the Democrats with a 74% approval rating across the Democrats. But her third-party support is abysmal. Only 36% of third-party voters support Hillary Clinton right now. President Clinton has signed an executive order limiting outdoor capacity nationwide. Some Republicans are saying this is unconstitutional of Hillary Clinton. She cannot do this. However, she has signed the executive order, and many states, especially Democrat-controlled states, are following through. The economy has taken a huge dive thanks to COVID-19. These numbers are pretty bad, and we could be seeing a recession come November. President Clinton has announced a global travel ban, meaning if you are planning on traveling, it's been canceled. People aren't coming in, and people aren't coming out, which is seen as controversial because we have people outside of the country, we have citizens outside the country who can't come back in. Riots break out in Louisville over the Breonna Taylor incident. Breonna Taylor was shot by a police officer while she was sleeping in her home, and riots in Louisville, Kentucky have broken out. President Clinton has ordered all the schools to shut down. She signs an executive order and saying schools need to be shut down in order to stop the spread. And essentially, schooling has, shut down, with these states deciding whether they should just shut down all school year for the rest of the year, no work or anything, or if they should do it virtually. That is up to the states. President Clinton has signed the COVID relief package. This one is giving out $1,000 to all Americans. This is the relief package, $1,000. It was like $1.2 trillion relief package, and President Clinton has signed this, which is very popular, a very bipartisan deal right here. Unemployment has skyrocketed over COVID-19. These are probably the worst numbers since the Great Recession, if I'm not mistaken. And many people are looking for jobs. They're unemployed now. It's not a good thing. Here's President Clinton's approval rating. Her approval rating has taken a bump upwards due to signing the COVID relief package. She now has a 5% disapproval nationwide, with 41% of the third-party supporters approving of Hillary Clinton, which this could be beneficial if she is wanting to win the White House back, or win re-election in November. Taking a look at President Clinton's approval ratings again as the economy, continues to dive. Her approval rating does drop a bit. The COVID relief stuff really didn't help, and people are now saying inflation is occurring. However, we here cannot confirm or deny that. But right now, she has a 9% disapproval across the country. Riots erupt across the country over the death of George Floyd. Rioters have, these are rioters associating themselves with Black Lives Matter and Antifa, rioting over the death of George Floyd, demanding justice for his death, burning down buildings, leaving people both jobless and homeless. President Clinton attacks red states for arresting what she calls peaceful protesters. Governor of Wisconsin, Governor Scott Walker, had arrested Kenosha rioters. He had, ordered the National Guard, ordered police officers to arrest them. Governor Ron DeSantis of Florida signed an anti-riot bill just in case something like this had happened. And President Clinton, attacks these people, saying that these protests are peaceful. Hillary Clinton has taken a huge dip in approval. After her peaceful protester comments, her support has dropped to 24% disapproval nationwide. Only 37% of Americans support her right now, and this is giving her primary opponents, Jim Justice, Andrew Yang, and Bill de Blasio, up support in the primaries right now due to this. Here's President Clinton's approval rating. Approval continues to drop. Only 35% of Americans support her, with a 27% net disapproval across the board. Continuing on, showing off President Clinton's approval rating throughout this year, she has a 30% net disapproval, which is terrible. Only 26% of third-party voters support her. This is not looking good for President Clinton, not at all. And, you know, many people are like, you know, maybe we shouldn't nominate Hillary again. Maybe she should step down, but she has said she's not doing that. That's stupid. But, you know. President Clinton's approval rating continues to drop. It now sits at a 32% net disapproval nationwide. Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg has passed away at age 87. This is President Clinton's opportunity to nominate a Supreme Court justice. However, the Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell has already said, no, not happening. As we confirmed not too long ago, McConnell says he will block a Supreme Court nomination vote, just like he did with Merrick Garland 4 years ago. Here's President Clinton's approval rating. She's actually seen a bump up in support as the Senate congressional Republicans have taken a bump down due to them blocking a Supreme Court justice nomination again. Her approval did boost back up to 41% nationwide. Probably sympathy if I had to guess, but President Clinton does have a 16% net disapproval across the nation, however, still. The national debt has risen up to $32 trillion. President Clinton was actually $10 trillion over her budget this year, which is huge news. It's a record, actually, of spending so much money on, you know, on like COVID relief and other things she has done. Right before the election, here is the totals for President Clinton's approval rating. She has a 41% approval amongst the nation with a net disapproval of 16%. Is this enough for Clinton to win? We're not sure. But just like in 2016, we have a huge third-party wave as Libertarian Joe Jorgensen and Green Party Howie Hawkins are expected to make, you know, good gains, like good chunks of support in this election. Thank you guys so much for watching. The next video will be the primaries, and then the video after that will be the election itself. So thank you guys so much for watching. This is the Chaotic One saying, peace.